Dear all, a very good day. In today's lecture, we are going to observe voltage transfer characteristics of a real inverter. Okay, in the previous lecture, we had seen that a basic inverter circuit looks something like this with NMOS connected to the input. Its drain is connected to the output. Its source and body are both grounded. Okay, the gate source voltage VGS is the V input, and drain source voltage VDS is the output voltage. We have taken the capacitance because this circuit may be connected to, or it may be part of another big circuit, so the parasitic capacitance related to that circuit is represented here as a lumped capacitance. Now this whole transistor setup, in this complete setup, this transistor is known as the driver transistor, and it is connected with a two terminal load. This two terminal load can be just a representation, however in actuality it can be a resistor, a depletion load NMOS, or a PMOS device. Now the characteristic of this load is that a fixed current of IL flows through it at a voltage of VIL. It has been given a supply voltage of VDD. Now no current flows in this circuit from gate side, and no current flows to the output as the capacitance has been connected. So if we will apply the KCL at this circuit, or we can say Kirchhoff's current law, we will find, or we will observe that IL current will always be equal to ID current, because there is no other way where the current can flow. Okay, so until and unless this NMOS transistor is on and a drain current flows from its drain to source terminal, ID will flow, and only that current will contribute to IL. Now we will see the voltage transfer characteristics describing the V out as a function of V in under the DC conditions. Okay, and this can be done by solving this equation 1, which we have just derived by applying KCL on the above circuit. Okay, now the typical VT voltage transfer characteristic of an inverter looks somewhat like this. Okay, now the general shape of this VTC is almost, although it may not look exactly similar to the ideal case scenario, but the general case of this VTC is that yes, there is a high voltage and there is a low output voltage with respect to V in low and V in high. Okay, so the general shape of the VTC is qualitatively similar to that of an ideal inverter transfer characteristics. However, there are several significant differences. Now we will observe the differences between the ideal characteristics and this real characteristic. Okay, now starting from the origin, and we will be looking at with respect to input voltage, how the output voltage is varying. Okay, so for a very low input voltage, that is very low input voltage, this will be somewhere around the origin on the x-axis, around this region. Okay, for a very low input voltage level, the output voltage V out is equal to a high value. So at this time our output voltage is VOH, which is a very high value, and this VOH is known as output high voltage. Now in this case, the driver transistor NMOS transistor is cut off and does not conduct any current. Okay, so this is the stage where NMOS is off, and consequently the voltage drop across the load device is very small in magnitude, and output voltage level is essentially high. So there is a very low voltage drop across the NMOS, and all the current, all the voltage which is applied across the load resistance comes out in the form of output voltage. Then now this is the point to be focused on, because most of the students do get confused in this point. Now we will increase the input voltage. Okay, now we have increased input voltage and we are somewhere here in this region. Okay, which is covering VIL, and little bit voltages left and right of the VIL in the characteristic. So as the input voltage Vin is increased, the driver transistor starts conducting a certain drain current and the output voltage eventually starts to decrease. Okay, somewhere around this region, and now the driver transistor has started to operate. It means gate voltage is sufficiently higher than its threshold voltage of the NMOS transistor, so it is starting to conduct the current. Okay, and therefore this output voltage will now start to fall, because current which was voltage which was appearing across the output terminal is now because of the current flow through the NMOS transistor is occurring across NMOS transistor as well, or the driver transistor as well. Okay, notice that this drop in the voltage output voltage level does not occur abruptly, but rather gradually and with a finite slope. So this change in the voltage is not abrupt as we have seen in the ideal characteristics. However, there is a gentle slope for this change in voltage, because in actuality the transistor does not switch in an instantaneous method. If we are looking in the range of nanoseconds or microseconds, we will observe that there is a finite time which transistor is taking. Okay, so there are two critical voltage points on this curve where the slope of the Vout Vin characteristic becomes equal to -1. Okay, so on this complete characteristic there are two important points. One is this point and another point is this, where the slope of this line becomes equal to -1. Okay, so dV out upon dV in is equal to -1. The smaller input voltage satisfies. Okay, now this slope is you can calculate directly with the help of y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope of a line and m can be calculated by y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2. Now here in this particular graph we can see on the y-axis we have V out. That is why we are taking y1 minus y2 as difference in V out, that is dV out, and similarly x-axis is V in. So difference in x1 minus x2 is taken as dV in. Therefore dV out upon dV in is representing slope here, and if the value of slope is -1, there are 2 points, 2 critical points which are showing this. Now the smaller input voltage value satisfying this condition, so the smaller input voltage, see this is close to the x-axis, sorry, origin, so this is the smaller input voltage at which dV out by dV in is -1. Okay, and the larger input voltage satisfying this so this is known as input voltage low value, and the larger value which is satisfying this condition, it is called input high voltage VIH value. Okay, now both these voltages play a very significant role in determining the noise margin of an inverter, that is how much noise the inverter can tolerate. This will be discussed in the next lecture, however. Okay, so as the input voltage is further increased, the output voltage continues to drop and reaches a value VOL. Now if we are further increasing input voltage from VIL to VIH and more, then we will see that output voltage is almost equal to 0 and it is at a very low level, which is shown here as VOH. This is output low voltage level, and at this time our input voltage is almost equal to VOH, that is output high level. Okay, or you can say input voltage is very high in this condition. Okay, which is considered as the transition voltage and is okay. Now inverter threshold voltage. Now there is something known as threshold voltage which we have shown here by VTH. Okay, so the inverter threshold voltage which is considered as a transition voltage. So now this is the transition period and the voltage at this level is known as threshold voltage. So threshold voltage is also known as the transition voltage. Okay, and it is defined as a point. So any point on this curve at which V out and V input both are equal, that is defined as the threshold voltage. So it can be taken at a 45-degree angle on the transfer characteristic, where a 45-degree angle line cuts the transfer characteristic. That will be the point for VTH. Okay. Now, thus 5 critical voltage characterizes the DC input output voltage behavior in the inverter circuit. So in this complete VTC, voltage transfer characteristics, there are 5 important voltages: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one is this one, okay, which tells the behavior of the entire characteristic. Okay, so these are, first one is VOH. Okay, let us come to these voltages. The first one is VOH, that is maximum output voltage when the output logic level is logic 1. So if we are considering a voltage level as logic 1, so it is represented by VOH. Similarly, the second is VOL. It is the minimum output voltage which the output level when the output level is logic 0. So if output is logic 0, so what will be the voltage at this time? This is represented by VOL. Now comes the important term VIL. So VIL is maximum input voltage which can be interpreted as logic 0. So first of all, it is the maximum voltage, and it is second, it is input voltage. So maximum input voltage, that can be considered as logic 0. Most of students confused in this, so be very specific. VIL is maximum and it is input voltage, and it should be considered as logic 0. VIH is the minimum input voltage. Okay, it is minimum and it is again an input voltage, and it is the minimum input voltage that can be considered as logic 1. So if we will look at the voltage transfer characteristics once again, we will see anything below VIL is logic 0. So this is the maximum voltage which can be considered as logic 0, and from here to here we will get a very good output characteristic or high output characteristic. After this, transition phase begins. Similarly, VIH is minimum input voltage, and after this the complete voltage is considered as logic 1. So it is the minimum voltage, and after this whole voltage will be considered as logic 1. So students, please don't get confused in this aspect. Okay. Now, the ability of an inverter to interpret an input signal within the voltage range either as logic 0 or as logic 1. So, ability of an inverter to recognize a voltage as logic 0 or logic 1 allows the digital circuit to operate with a certain tolerance to external perturbations. Okay, it allows circuit to operate with tolerance to external perturbation. This means that if some noise do enter our inverter circuit, so there is a specific voltage range or a specific voltage quotient which we have taken, which can be considered as logic 0 or logic 1. Okay, this helps the inverter to function properly. The tolerance to the variation in the signal level is especially valuable in the environment in which circuit noise can significantly corrupt the signals. Okay, so since if there is a noise in the circuit, so this type of perturbations can be removed with the help of good values for VIL and VIH. In the next class or in the next lecture, we will be having a look at noise margin with relation to inverters. Thank you.